Okay, so we'll start the actual session. So what we'll do is now we'll try to write some basic Python, using Python basic leave letter. In basically how you'll write the leave letter, and lastly you write something like yours sincerely, your name, right? So this is how you write your leave letter, right? So now we try to do it. See, this session is completely like basic things to encourage you how to use the Python. For those people who are new to Python, they can get some idea how can we use this Python in the real situations. Okay. So if you people already know something like this, don't feel bored. We generally write leave letters like this. Now we'll try to do it using Python. Okay, let's what we required, we need to print, right? So what you need to print, you need to print the place, and then print date, right? Okay, I save it. Okay, now I'm trying to run it. What you got? Name, place is not defined. Okay, we given the variables. Fine, it should be string, right? Sure. Okay. You got the place date, but where should we get this place and date? On the right side. Okay, on the right side top corner, right? But where we got? At the starting place. Now that means you need to give spaces here. In general, what you use for giving the space, any guess? Tab space, right? So tab space by default will be like eight tab spaces, eight spaces, right? So you can write like this also. Space is a variable I'm going to declare, and I'm going to give, take empty space. Okay, let's say yes, space. Now I'm taking space as a variable, and let's say I'm going to give 25. Okay, and then I'm going to include that in the print statement. So how we'll include? By using the percentage %s. And then you need to write what you need to pass for that percentage. So I'm going to give space, and again here percentages. Again you need to pass what you need to pass for the percentage. Okay, now I'm going to save it, and I'm trying to execute it. Okay, there where you got it at place date, right? in the middle. So that means you need to increase your space, let's say 50. Okay, it's somewhat better. You can increase some more, like 55. Yeah, fine. For you need to give 69. It depends upon your screen size and the window size. Okay. So what you need to write after place, date, again you need to write so basically I don't use Jupyter or Spiders or some other IDLEs. I prefer to use the basic Python ideally, or else I like to use notepads like Sublime Text or something, because there you won't autofill. If there is any error, if you seen yesterday, if you observed yesterday, those people who have attended yesterday's session, if you've seen there, when we write something mistake, it automatically displays into mark, right? So that those people who are just started their career in the Python, they are unable to learn something new. See, they are unable to debug their code, because IDLEs are most advanced platforms where they can autofill your code. You no need to write. See, yesterday when we typing, when we type some function name, and then if we check there, it will show the automatically. It will show what arguments or parameters need to be entered into that. But that is not the right way to learn any programming language. First of all, you need to learn any programming language in the notepad itself. Once you get to know what will be the errors, what are the regular errors you face while writing the programs, okay, while writing the programs, then you can use the IDLEs. Without practicing on the normal notepads, and without knowing the basic regular errors, and without knowing how to solve them those errors, then I don't prefer to go and use the IDLEs, like third party IDEs. IDLE is different, IDE is different. So I request everyone, those who started learning Python or some other programming language, you use your notepad and then save according to the extension of that programming language. Then you will learn a lot regarding the errors. How can you solve it? You can while writing itself, you can imagine, you can expect that you may get error here, like that. If you use IDEs, I don't feel that you are on the right track. So here I'm going to take one more variable called as spaces, because no need of 55 spaces there. So I'm going to take it as 25. I'll try to execute this. So you got the output, right? Place, date, to HOD, college. As a computer science students, you need to, that's what the revolution is, right? You need to convince, you need to create some rules in our college, like as you are the computer science students, still you are using your, I mean, we are coding. Okay, let me give a brief introduction about Python if you guys don't know. Can I take around like 5 to 10 minutes? The first thing you need to know difference between, there are in the industry there are like programming languages and there are like scripting languages. Okay, I will tell you a simple difference between the programming language and the scripting language. See, you take any programming language, it may be C or C++ or Java or any other programming languages, Go or something. Okay, what you need to do for executing the that particular file in that programming language, first you need to compile, right? And then you'll generate some file. If you don't have any errors, then you need to execute, the file which you got it, right? This is what we do in the programming languages. When you go to scripting languages, there you simply execute the line what you write. If I say simply print hi, okay, and then I press enter. If I wrote, if you just assume that I wrote this thing in the Python shell and I press the enter, then you will get simply the output, directly the output as hi. That means you feel that it is directly executing the line? No. Even though if you write here, you seen in the at the starting of the session, I don't given the codes and I simply executed the thing, and it thrown some error that hi is not defined anywhere, right? The name hi is not defined. That means it is compiling as well as it is executing, right? So every scripting language also does the same thing what the programming language does. But in the programming language, you need to do specifically two different steps: compilation and then execution. Whereas in the scripting language, you will do only single step, that is direct execution. Inside the direct execution, there will be compilation also. That's the difference between programming language and the scripting language. Okay, sir, we heard that Python is a programming language. Okay, just see. If you can see that some people called as Python as programming language, JavaScript programming language, like this. Okay, but whereas C, C++, Java are completely programming language. The thing is, you need to remember, every scripting language is also called as programming language. Kushred, can you show me where in any title can you seen that Python general purpose language, or you seen it as Python scripting language, or you seen it as Python programming language? See, every scripting language is also called as programming language. Everyone will call either Python as a Python is a scripting language or Python programming language, because every scripting language can also do compilation and execution. That's why every scripting language can be also be called as programming language. That's why we call Python as scripting language as well as Python as programming language. Okay, Perl scripting language, Perl programming language. Some examples. Okay, but every programming language can't be called as scripting language. Why? Because you can't execute each and every line separately in the programming languages. In the programming languages, you can execute only in the form of files. Am I right? So whereas in the scripting language, you can execute each and every line separately if required. So that's the major difference. Then while you come to what is the advantage of Python, see, I don't know any senior more like age greater than like 30 years or 28 years. Um, so those people might have seen the YouTube like around 6 to 7 years back. Okay, that means around like in 2006, 7 at that range, in between 2006 to 10, almost 10 years back. When you open the YouTube, you will get youtube.com/php extension. That means initially YouTube is built with PHP programming language. Okay, but after Python grown its advantages, all those things. Okay, Python got a framework, web development framework called Django. Okay, when the Django is introduced, then they started slowly building the complete YouTube into PHP platform into the Django platform. Because if you go and search, okay, PHP, the website which is built with PHP will take around 5 seconds to load. When you call some website, let's say google.com, if it is built with PHP programming language, it takes around 5 seconds time to retrieve the data. Or else if you build the same thing using the Python and Django framework, Django is a Python's web development framework, it will take around 2.5 seconds. That means almost it's more faster than PHP related websites. Shashank, maybe your there is an issue with your internet. Did anyone facing the same? I think on my end it's everything fine. Even before starting this session, afraid because there is no internet. There are several issues due to this COVID session. Okay, fine. So what all other Python programming related live examples means? You can see YouTube as the best example, and you can see Instagram as the best example. You can see Snapchat as the best example. These all are built using the Python and Django frameworks. Instagram, most people are using nowadays more than Facebook. You going to use the Instagram? Am I right? Okay. And then you are also using as a computer science student or as a passionate guy towards the software field. Whenever you got some doubt, you simply go and search. Okay, whenever you got some doubt, you simply go and search something in the Google, right? Like list attribute error. Okay, when you search something like this, you will get the first thing. We'll get the first thing from the Stack Overflow. Am I right? You maximum times you'll see the first link as the Stack Overflow. This Stack Overflow also built using Python and Django framework. Okay, and there is a Reddit app. See, I'm not talking about databases, Prajot Shetty. I'm talking about web frameworks. You can use any type of database. You can use MySQL or NoSQL or something, anything. It's not. I'm not discussing about databases. Okay, I'm just telling you the advantages of Python and what are the live examples currently what you daily using. Okay. So these are the few things related to Python. Okay, so you can Google it for several things. You can learn a lot during. I feel that Python is very small subject. If you can spend like every day 3 to 4 hours, you can learn it completely by within 3 weeks. Okay, you can complete all the Python related programming things within 3 weeks, and then you can start learning some advanced topics to like advanced topics in the sense you can learn several other frameworks related to your work. Okay, see guys, you just remember I am hearing lot of things in the market that there is no Python advanced concept. Okay, Python is a open source tool. That means whenever you say open source, you can use it for free of cost. Okay, then when you using it for free of cost, then there will be no advanced concepts. Python is the single programming language. It is not like Java. Java is owned by Sun Microsystem previously. Now it is acquired by Oracle. They have core Java and advanced Java. Okay, but for Python, there will be no core Python and advanced Python. There will be only single Python, or else web development with Python. It's completely different. Okay, Python is Python. So just be aware, and don't trust if anyone say this is the advanced concepts for Python like that. Whatever you learn in the Python, the next level you will learn all complete frameworks. That's it. Okay, so while coming back to our regular session, we'll talk. Okay, guys, if you have any doubts, we'll spend some time at the end. Okay, like yesterday. Okay, let me continue because everyone is waiting for remaining topics. At the end, I will ask you to ask your questions. At that time, you please raise your questions. Okay, now we'll see. See, let's say I have some text file here. I wrote something. It may be anything. Okay, I have this type of text. It may be anything. You may have any other something text. Okay, what we do if you want to get something, let's say if you want to get some word, what you do, let's go into for just 1 or 2 minutes, we'll go back to some Python basics, then we come back here. So I think everyone has basic Python knowledge related to indexing and slicing, right? Okay, when I say this, welcome to Python class. Okay, let's say I'm assigned this variable to this. So each and every letter has its own indexing, right? So in Python, indexing starts with 0. Am I right? Okay, indexing starts with 0. Then, so you will have, for the people, those who don't know, so you will have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, right? So even space has the indexing. Okay, so when you want to call some letter from that section, you call a of the particular index number, like I want e, I say 6, right? If you want, okay, then that is called as indexing. Now if you want to call some word, okay, what you do, you use the slicing concept, right? So slicing syntax is starting index colon ending index +1, right? So what you do, let's say I want to retrieve it from the Python. Okay, I want to retrieve Python. So you say a of Python. So T is 8, O is 9, and then space is 10, Python is 11, P is 11. So you have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The index value of n is 16. So you need to give 17 here. Then you will get the Python word. Okay, fine. I hope everyone knows it. Okay, let's say if I have something like 20,000 characters, okay, then what you will do? How can you know that a particular word indexing? You will get it by using the index. Okay, you will get like index of P, right? Using this, you will get the index value. But when I want to retrieve something like let's say I have a document, okay, with the complete around 7 to 8 paragraphs, complete one Excel file, one doc file. Okay, there if you want to find something, what you do, you simply give Control F, right? You give Control F and try for Python. Okay, then press enter, it will find out, right? Now I want to say, instead of finding like that, I want to get, so any phone number which is included in this document, I want to find all the phone numbers, okay, all the mobile numbers which are present in this document. What you will do, is it possible for you to simply give Control F and find something like phone numbers? No, right? You need to use here the regular expression. Okay, so why I am going to teach here the regular expression is, at the end of this task, my main motive is to show you how to extract the email and how to extract the phone number from a document. Why you need to extract email and phone number from the document? Why? Because if you all most of you people are the students, you going to apply for you going to upload your resumes in the some job portal websites, right? So if you go and check like Naukri or Wisdom or some other job portal websites, before signing up, they asking you to upload your resume. Instead of filling all the details, they asking you to upload your resume. Then what you getting? So they automatically extract all your first name, last name, phone number and email ID, and then they will send one verification link. Okay, then verification link to your email, right? So we'll start this. Okay, so what you do is you simply take for regular expression, you need to write import RE. Okay, what you need to write? Import RE. What it will do? This is the module package from the Python inbuilt package. You no need to install like yesterday pip install. It is default one. So here we have like something like 3 to 4 modules, 4 functions in the regular expressions. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. Okay, first of all, for every program you need to give some pattern. Okay, what is that pattern? Is the pattern is nothing but whatever you want to find. Let's say here in the document previously we clicked the Control F. By giving the Control F, you got the search bar. In the search bar you entered whatever you want to search, right? In the same way, as I said, that you want to require to retrieve some phone numbers, then you need to write. Okay, then you need to write some pattern here for retrieving all those phone numbers. Okay, how we can write it is by giving some pattern. Here now I am going to show you some simple. Okay, this R is nothing but raw input. Matches is a simple variable and pattern is also variable. Don't worry. So here see, you got all those things what you want to fill. So I given it, I saved it is already pattern. I'm going to call it. Now you need to pass some string. Okay, what you need to pass here as a string means, I given the pattern. What I given? Small a to z, capital A to z. That means you can have small letters with combination of capital letters, anything. Okay, many number of in a word, any number of letters, and then you need to have some space. Okay, after having the space you need to have some numbers. Okay, so Wherever the pattern is matching, you will get the extraction of that pattern. Let's say I am going to give Guntur 2018. Okay. Karnataka 2017. I'll give it as shortcut AP 2019. And then some other thing like Hyundai, Creta, Scorpio 245. Okay, this is the string I given. Fine. So now what I want to do using the pattern, I want to find out those things which are matched with the pattern. So I'll write for loop for match in. That means I want to iterate. I need to check each and everything whether it is matching or not. See here, what I given pattern, I given small a to z, capital A to Z, right? What do you mean by small a to z and capital A to Z? It may be combination of anything. I think I didn't mention, yeah, here I mentioned the capital letter Karnataka. Okay, fine. Okay, it can be anything. So I have first with alphabets, and then I written some space plus after I given some space. So here I also given some space, and then I given /d. /d is nothing but numbers. So I given here 2018. This plus is nothing but you need to give many numbers. It can have any numbers. Okay. So if you run now, what will be the output? Can anyone guess? See, the pattern is small a to z and capital A to Z. Okay, it can a word can contain small alphabet letters or capital alphabet letters, and then it should have some space, and then it should have some numbers. Those things will be matching with the pattern. Those will be retrieved. So first three. Okay. See here, I think you all are wrong. It won't get the first three itself. It also get Scorpio 245. Here also you have some text and then space and then numbers, right? Am I right? Okay. Let's check the output. Yeah, got it? You got first three and also Scorpio 245. Why? Because here you have Hyundai space, after space you don't have number. So it check for next one. It has again alphabets and space and it don't have number. And then it check for the next one. So here in the Scorpio you have alphabets and you have space, and then it recognizes the numbers. So here the pattern is matching. So you got all those four. Now it is easy, right, for finding something in the complete doc. So here I am passing directly string. You just wait for another 5 to 10 minutes. I will show you how to pass the file also there. Then it will be easy for you to understand how you can get something from the documents. R is nothing but raw text. It will read what, see, there are some special characters like hyphen plus, right? So it won't miss that. Write Hyundai, all capital and run. Okay, we'll do it. What's the issue? It should have something like Okay, you got the same output. Capital letters, or if you write everything small letters also, it's fine. What the pattern we given? See, what pattern we given? We trying to retrieve something like it should have some letters, and then it should have some space, and it should have some digits. So when this type of pattern, this type of combination uh, uh, is matched, then we going to retrieve it. So we not said here, see, I given the square brackets there, we not said that it should have completely small letters or it should have completely capital letters. If you observe here in the example string I taken, for Guntur it is completely small letters, for Karnataka it is mix of small and capital letters, for AP it is completely capital letters, when you go to Scorpio it is again completely small letters. So even though it has small letters or capital letters, it will work. But the thing is, what exact pattern we wrote is, it should have some letters and then some space and then some digits, then only it will retrieve that particular string. I think now it's clear. Okay, sir, what if we don't write or in the pattern, or will there be any difference in the output? As Fanindra, there will be some difference. Might be you don't see here, you may see the output same, but when you working with the huge patterns, then there will be difference. See, why we using R is nothing but raw text. Okay, see, have you guys anytime tried to copy something from the Google Doc without downloading it? In that, if you open some file in the drive and you copy something and try to paste it in the text file or doc file, if anyone tried it, you may found that automatically some special characters are added to that file, like plus symbols, into symbols, or some other special characters. Have you found any time? That is because of this. So I don't want to read, I don't want to add any some other extra special characters to the given pattern. So I am asking it to by giving R before it, so that it will read R. Pattern is not defined means, can you please check either Siva, can you please check either you wrote this one pattern? You need to be very check either the spelling pattern pattern, either you wrote it in the capital letter or in small letters. If you write capital P also, it won't match. Please check. Okay, fine. So we got these things in the see, one after one. If you want to get it in the single line, then you need to give match comma. So now I given and equal to empty. Okay, empty space. That means it will, the iteration will be run, and it will find out some string and it will place it, and then after it will give some space and then it will do. See, RE is not a keyword. Okay, import is a keyword, RE is a package, and for and in are the keywords. Those things which are in the orange color are the keywords. Now see my output, how it will be. See, you got it in the single line, right? Okay, next one will go with the match function. Let's take some string. Sir, why? Because you given slash d, right, plus space slash d, that's why the numbers are printing. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to take this string. So I'm going to call one pattern. Let's say pattern 1 equal to Okay, if re dot match if the match is found, it will print match is found. Okay, else pattern 1 is not found. See here, what I am doing, I am going to use the match function in the regular expressions. I am trying to find the pattern in the string. So what is my pattern? 1, it is cells. In the string, you can see there is a cells, right? Now I am going to execute this. What you got? Cells is not present in the string, but you have the cells in the string, right? Okay, now we'll see. Pattern 2 equal to she. Okay, now I am going to execute this. I simply changed, added the second pattern, pattern 1 and pattern 2. What you got? Match found for the second function, right? For the second condition, you got match found. For the first condition, you got it is not present in the string because we are using the match function. Match function always check for the pattern at the starting word. It will only check at the starting word because here we given cells. Cells is a second word. Okay, it won't check other than the first word. So it given cells is not present in the string. In the pattern 2, I given the she. So that means it will check at the starting word. At the start, the starting word is she. So it given us the output as match found. Hope it is clear, right? Okay, now what we seen the match function, okay, which is used to check the first word in the string. Okay, now someone asked before that how can we search for the particular thing, right? Now you need to use, instead of this, you need to use search. Instead of match, you use search. Okay, instead of match, you use the search. I simply changed the function. I didn't change it anything. I simply changed the function search. So run it. See, you got the match found, right? If you use the search option, you can get whatever the things you can search, you can get it. If you use the match, it will check for the starting word. The next one is substitute. Okay, you need to replace some word. Obviously in the documents we always try to found some word, and instead of that, so I'm going to use the same string. Okay, now I want to replace the c. You have c 2 times, right? I want to replace this c with I'm taking the variable REPL. Instead of replace, I'm taking it as REPL. Okay, I want to replace it with the version. Okay, then you write some variable re dot substitute function, give pattern 1, and what you want to replace, that replace, and then give the string. Okay, close it. Now print new string. Okay, run. See, all the C is replaced with ocean. Have you seen it? Everything is replaced with ocean. Okay. Here we have one more argument in the substitute. After the string, you can give count equal to 1. If I say count equal to 1, whatever the digit you mention, only those number of words will be replaced. Here we have two things, right? I want to replace only the first one. That's why I given count equal to 1. Okay. Now if I execute, see here, only first one is replaced, the second one is same. See only, it not replaced. Only the first one is replaced. So this is how you can do some automation related thing on your Word doc files or some other files when you have huge amount of data. So if you want to replace the second one, there you need to write your control statements. You need to read each and every word. Whenever the word is repeated second time, then only it should be go with the replace function. If you have multiple things and you want to do it multiple times, then you need to go with control statements. Wherever you find the SEA, that particular combination of 3 letters, that 3 letters will be replaced with version. That's what we do in our find also, right? In the replace method in the Word documents. So if you want to do particular C, you don't want to have any combination. If you want to do particular C, then you need to go for search all. The first thing, find all we did, right? They, like that, you need to write the pattern /d/r like that. Okay, done. Okay, now we'll see how to extract some from a string, how to extract some number. So let's say I have a phone number. I created a variable. Then I'm going to give re.compile function. So in the compile function, again, I want to give R because it is a raw text file. Okay. See, generally how we write our phone numbers, we write two digits, right? So let's say for every digit, you need to write /d. D is nothing but number, digits. Okay. Hyphen /d hyphen /d hyphen /d hyphen /d and then close. What is this? So I given 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So all in India we have only 10 digits for every phone number, right? So now I want to apply the same thing, the compile on the some string. So I'm going to use here, I'm going to write something different. You see here, previously I wrote the compilation part, I mean pattern part separately and the string part separately. Now I'm going to wrote the pattern part in the variable, and I there itself compiled, and I am going to apply it on the string. Okay. So in this there is a pattern, right? Phone number dot here I will use the search option. Okay, in this I will write the string. Okay, I write you can take my number from here. Okay, this is how I wrote. What you got? You got none, because I given pattern in different format and I wrote my number in the different format. What I did in the pattern, I wrote for every 2 digits I have hyphen, but I didn't mention here hyphen, right? So I need to mention hyphen, then only it will match with the pattern. Okay. Now I will run. What you got? You got the match output, right? So instead of getting like this, you need to use group function. Okay, how you will need to use is, it won't be matched. That's what I shown, right? If I don't mention the hyphen, it not matched. You need to use group. By using this group, it will display what the exact output is. See, you got only the number. Yeah, here also checking with the pattern match only. So instead of that, in regular way, we write with the spaces, right? So I will remove here spaces. See, the span of 25 to 39, that means the index numbering. You need to write in different way if you don't use here the compile. Okay, we'll see it. Guys, everyone executed. You got the output. Sir, what is the meaning of SRE match object? See here, instead of printing what the output is, I am going to print the object. Whenever you apply some function and you store it, then it will be created as an object. If you have some idea about functions or classes, you might know about it. It will display the object related information. So here num is object for the phone number dot search function. So you need to use num dot group. That means this group will help you to get the exact output what you checking in the num other than the content related to the object. Is it clear, Bhavya? Okay, fine. Guys, done, everyone? Okay. In the same way, what you can do is you can write the email. What you need to do for the email? See, for email, there will be a lot of letters. Let's say if you take my email, sairam@codenan.com. That means for every email, let's say you take some other Gmail like ramyasri@gmail.com. What it has, for every email, there is @ symbol and then some word and then some dot and then again something, right? That something depends on different companies. Okay, some has .com, some has .xyz, some has .in, some has .co.in, like this something. It's completely different. Okay. So based upon the things, you need to satisfy each and everything. Okay, then only you can get any type of output. You need to satisfy your pattern with all types of formats. Okay. What we do is, let's say you create some text file. Okay, you create some text file. This text file has you write anything in the text file including the phone number and then email. You write anything. It may be anything you write. In middle, I am writing the phone number. Here I am writing my email. Okay. And then I am writing something. Okay. It may be anything. And I am going to save it. Okay. I'm going to save it in the desktop, like something like a Sai. I have something with my name, Sai Ram. So on desktop, I saved it. Okay. You also create some anything, no issues. So now I'm going to, instead of giving direct pattern, okay, instead of giving direct string, I created it in the file. Now I am going to use it. Open function. If you have some idea about files, you might come know how to open the file. And then you have a concept called encoding and decoding. You might know, I hope you might know it. So if sometimes the files will be automatically decoded because of using this program, so you need to encode it. Here we using UTF-8 for encoding, and I am saying that if you get any errors, you please ignore it. I am trying to read that file. Okay, now you need to create a pattern using find all. So I'm taking D for digits. Okay, and then capital D. So that means it can have 0 to 3 characters. And then taking small d. And then taking capital D. So you have the total 10 numbers. So based on that, I am taking. So for using this special symbols, all those symbols, each and every symbol has its own meaning. You need to check it, the regular expressions of Python. So that's the pattern I am going to take. In the pattern, I am going to take 3 plus 4. That means 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4. Total 10 numbers I need to get. So we'll check first whether we are getting we can retrieve the phone number or not. We got some unknown extension /d at position 1. Just a second, you need to add a slash here. That means it should take the complete. See how you got it? You got it in the list format. So what you need to do, you need to convert this list into the string format. For converting the list into string format, so for converting the list into string, you need to give, okay, So run it. See, now you got it in the string format instead of list format. So this is the pattern where you can find is you simply search for sorry. RE Python, you will get regular expression operations in the, see, for learning Python, the best resource is your official documentation. It has lot of information, and then you can learn from several channels or some other. See here, you can see a dot, cap symbol, dollar symbol, asterisk, plus question mark, all these things. Every symbol has see here, we used the slash, right? The slash is used for other escapes special characters, permitting you to match characters like asterisk, question mark, and so forth, or signals a special sequence. Okay, so like this, there will be for each and everything what I used here, there will be a meaning for each and every character, separate characters. See, we are using slash D, okay, and we are using slash capital D for everything. If you go through this session, you can note down all those things. We used some functions here, search, match, find, all those things. Okay, substitute. Okay, let's see now with email how we can extract the email. Now I am going to write one more pattern. So here I am going to use W. And then I am going to use plus. See here, these patterns are different from one to one. You can use any other symbols. See, this is not fixed for everything. Okay, you can write you can come up with your own pattern also by learning all those things. But see, as you talk with anyone, they will say in the software industry there are multiple ways to find out the solution, not the single way. In the same way, what will be the final solution if I get output and you guys also got the output? But what is the best solution is the solution which gives with the less time, within the less time, and having more accuracy when you talk related to machine learning. Um, Farindra, if you see small d is related to numbers and capital D is not related other than numbers. Okay, what I am saying to do is if you see in the pattern, just I given our Indian normal pattern, you can use this pattern for other country numbers also. There sometimes if you want to use what can I say? If you go to toll-free numbers, there you will get some numbers and some digits. Have you seen any time? Let's say 1800 BFC and again some number. So at the time when you have that type of characters in between the four numbers, for detecting those things, we use this type of things. You can remove D of 0,3, it will work. You can give a try. See here, what I am going to say is, if you observe here, I specifically mention plus at the rate, and then I given something around here, and it should have some dot extensions. Okay, even though before plus also, before at the rate also, we can use dot symbol for creating our email ID, sairam.uppugantla@gmail.com, right? So I given dot also before at the rate symbol. So if it find out any dots also, it will recognize. And then 1 to 4 numbers, it may be anything. Then I am getting it from the sairam.txt. If I run it, see, you got my email ID. See, I don't say this is the final output or this is the final pattern to find out any number or any email ID. You can come up with different patterns for finding out phone numbers and email IDs. If you go and search in the Google, you will find lot of patterns. This is not the final one. Guys, is it clear? So this is what I want to say, how to get using some automation, like using Python code from a text files. How can you retrieve? So what exactly this Naukri or some other job portals are doing to retrieve your first name, last name, your phone number and email ID. I want to show that. So I delivered my content. Okay, I think you learned something new today also, or if you felt something wrong, if you expected something and you didn't get it. This is the continuation part for tomorrow also. If you guys join in the tomorrow session, what we going to do is, we just retrieved the emails. Tomorrow we going to see how we can use this email and then phone number to send a SMS and a email automatically using the Python code without opening your Gmail or Yahoo mails, without logging into your Gmails or Yahoo mails. How can we send email to these emails using Python code?